on to recognize guests. So Liam, what would you like to talk to us about?
I'll be real brief. Thank you for seeing me. And if you want me to come back a different time to discuss some more of it, I can. I represent the Northwest Vermont Wheelers. So we're
Wheelers?
Yeah.
Wheelers.
We're an ATV club. We are working to continue to make things more available. I want to help you guys if you guys are willing to. I know there might be some aren't quite maybe there or whatever the case might be, but I can forward you all the ordinance from other towns surrounding this area as well, so they can see what they're doing. But we are trying to be active and working with the towns to make the trail system better than it is right now. So we are a club that we're part of a club that there's a state-run organization called VASA, which is our state club or organization. So we work with them to do different things and make the trails wherever and get road access and stuff like that. So that's what I'm here for. I want to just pass you out a little flyer on the organization. Thank you.
Give you a little history. A few years ago, they came to us and asked us to open up some of the back roads, and we had about 70 people here protesting.
Okay.
So we decided against it.
Okay. And I can understand it. Is this Wayne?
No, Wayne's not here yet.
You want me?
I can make him a copy.
Okay. And I can understand that, and we know that that's one thing, but I also know that in this town, many people are already driving up Main Street. So with that said, what we want to do is create avenues where they can ride, and hopefully, you're always going to post bad apples, but maybe we can help to eliminate all the traffic going in places where people don't want it. So that's really our goal. We are having a meeting in Berkshire on the 18th with VASA, which may be a good thing that maybe someone can show up at or not.
When is that meeting? Where?
September.
September what? You don't know.
18th.
18th?
Yep.
And where?
At the Berkshire Town Hall. So I've been there. They're already writing up some, guidelines with the other stuff. If actually, who can have your email? I guess.
Yeah.
Just right above the other one. And I'll send you all that information so you have it.
So that meeting will be for the whole area.
It's going to be kind of for Berkshire because they're writing up stuff. They have some more questions and stuff like that. And once again, this is a long time. It's not like tomorrow we're going to open up trails.
Right.
We're trying to connect other things so that we can get to gas stations, restaurants, so that we can also spend money as we're going from wherever. I mean, the end goal here would be to have some kind of loop that we can get over to Lowell, because they already have quite a bit. And, it's going to bring in revenue is planned, and then also just kind of help control what's going on. I'll end with one last thing. I can see this town as a Gorham, New Hampshire, actually. Just, I don't know if you've been to Gorham. They allow them down Main Street. Reason why I say that is that they are already doing that, and you have a lot of gas stations here in town, which would be a good thing for us and you and whoever has the business. But that's just my thought. And so once again, I'll send you an email with
Now,
the
wait a minute,
information.
this is ATVs, not snow machines.
No.
Right.
ATVs.
Yes.
Four-wheelers.
Four-wheelers and UTVs
It
are
was-
side by side.
Side by side.
Was it snow machines that came to us before?
No,
No,
it
was
was
this again? It was VASA, yeah, okay.
And it probably was a different club, because I know there was another
It
club
was
running around
LaRose-
here.
There was, Joe LaRosa's son was the
Yeah.
president.
So this president, he's a sheriff in St. Albans, and I believe the two other guys work for ICE. So we do have some people that are, of authority
Yeah.
that want to make sure that it's
Right.
done correctly.
Yeah, good.
Well, do you guys want to have a,
Could I ask you a question?
yeah, sure.
Are you the same outfit that Bakersfield has opened up to?
Yes. Yep.
Right there, as far as I'm concerned, kills it.
Okay.
So
No.
I've been over to, my family's buried over there, Hillside Cemetery. I've been over there, and there'd be 100 four-wheelers up and down the road, you couldn't even visit with anybody on a Sunday. I hate four-wheelers anyway, to start with. They're a good working machine, but they should not be allowed as a toy as far as I'm concerned. And anybody that go over to Bakersfield on a Sunday, that can support it, there's something wrong with it.
Okay. Are they allowed to ride down the street of Bakersfield or back roads?
It's back roads.
Back roads, okay.
Yeah.
And is that what you're proposing here, is not the main street?
Not necessarily Main Street.
But access to Main Street?
Possibly. I mean, once again, and then, you know, as, my wife's family's from Bakersfield, and they also enjoy doing this. So, I mean, there's definitely both sides of the fences in any situation.
It is a recreational
Yeah.
calling for, why don't we do this, if it's agreeable to everybody, why don't we wait till the September 18th meeting? You said you're gonna send us some information. After the meeting, before the meeting, you have stuff now?
I will send you all the other town information I have. I will confirm the date.
Okay.
And I'm sure you guys are more than welcome to sit in on that meeting.
Sure.
It just will be in
Berkshire.
Berkshire.
Well, what we'll do is look over the information you give us, and then probably would have to advertise that we were gonna discuss it, so that people could come and
Yep.
talk, whatever. And, we won't forget it, we'll just wait till you give us some
Sure.
information, and maybe we'll meet with you not privately, but at another meeting, or we'll decide what to do once we see what the other.
And once again, our big goal is to put organization behind what's going on. It's already going
It's the
on.
enforcement
Yeah.
that we're having a problem with,
And-
and these people on the street will stay on the street, they won't, you know.
So, yeah, I mean.
So we'll discuss that later, I mean, you can
And-
spend more time on it.
So with VASA though, you have to have a tag, you're supposed to
Right.
have the insurance to get the tag, all these different things, so.
Yeah.
Then if you're not, and you don't have that, then you can kind of pick those bad apples out of the
Right.
group, so.
Right.
But-
So definitely, we won't forget about it. Will you just send me the information, and
yep.
we'll talk again about it,
Okay,
okay?
sounds good.
Thank you, Lee.
All right, thank you for your time.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Beth? Thank you. This is Beth Crane,
Yep.
okay?
Hi, Beth.
How are you? And so I am Beth Crane, and I am here representing Franklin County Caring Communities and Watershed Mentoring. We are a prevention organization focused on substance abuse prevention and positive youth development, those two sides of a coin. And we've been around for a long time, but over time some of our work has evolved, and I wanted to just inform you about the kinds of things that we are able to work with towns on and already are working with some places on. Among other things, maybe what I'll do is I'll just share this with you so you can see a little bit about what we are. Our goal is to reduce substance use among, oops, sorry about the trick.
Like a snake.
You didn't really plan it that way, but that's how it works.
You did that on purpose.
So, now our goal is to reduce substance use among teens and young adults, decrease their use, and empower families to make healthy decisions and empower youth to make healthy decisions. So, some of the things that we're working on around the county are, for one thing, opiate prevention. I know that horse is long out of the barn, but we're working on trying to get it back in to the extent that we can. We're working with pharmacies around medication take back. We're working with providers around providing correct information and prescribing practices and all of those things that help reduce opiate use and then addiction. We're also working on marijuana and underage alcohol use. And some of the ways that we can help you, if you're interested at some point, is looking at what kinds of policies Richford would want to have in place to reduce the likelihood that people are going to be using substances. So it could be things like, you know, anybody who's providing alcohol, are they appropriately insured, or how many licenses do you want to have in town? because we know that the more density there are of alcohol licensees, the more likely kids are going to get it. With marijuana, a lot of places are starting to look at what do they want to have in place should it become legal. And some towns have kind of started to put ordinances in place. So we can certainly help with that process. We're going to be working this fall with NRPC too on coming up with some samples and language and information that we can share with all the communities. So those are a couple of things, just a couple of examples of the things we do. We have a Safe Homes Parent Network. We encourage parents to agree that they aren't going to be serving on their property or in their homes. We're trying to get away from the idea that, well, as long as they're on my property, they're safe, which we know is kind of a fallacy. It doesn't really work that way. We're working with other organizations around, when is it appropriate to have alcohol at an event? Do you need alcohol at every event? If you're doing a fundraiser, et cetera. So lots of different ways that we're not a prohibition organization. We're not trying to stop people, adults, from drinking responsibly, but we are trying to change that norm that leads us to think at the age of 14, 15, 16 that we have to drink to be, to be an adult. So that's in a nutshell some of the things we do. We work really closely with the Department of Health. We work closely with the Tobacco Prevention Coalition. We work with DLC as well. We go to all their trainings of first and second class licensees and do our little song and dance and provide information to them about how they can make their organizations or their businesses more compliant and responsible. And then the last thing that we're doing, we also are, two things. One is teen leadership. We're working with the United Way on a teen leadership initiative so that we can get more young people in schools thinking about this and taking a role within their schools. And then finally, we have a mentoring program, and we are supporting what was called the Cornerstone program here at the elementary school in Richford. We'd love anybody on the board of the select board who wants to become a mentor 1 hour after school. But there's information in here about it.
I spent so many years in school.
Are you interested? And there's information in your packet about that. So I definitely, but if you can partner with us too and just making sure that people in town know about it. I've got a poster I can put up here and so on. We're really just trying to get as many kids as we can, give them an adult that they can spend time with outside of beyond their family, and there's that poster.
Okay, that's good.
With the contact information.
Now, are you, I'm sure you're aware of Dr. Hawk
I am.
and that program, which
Yes.
sounded fantastic.
Yeah, he's doing.
There's a waiting list of 150 people.
Well, yeah. I think
it's just such a comprehensive program.
Yeah. He's doing great work.
Yeah.
Notch is doing.
Yeah, he's
stuff.
now the head of Notch, but I heard the presentation tonight and I was just blown away.
Did he come up and present?
Well, he's our leader now. He's the head of Notch, the medical director.
Right, okay.
So he's at our meetings and he brought
Yep.
in this program and told us about this program, and I was amazed at all they do, every facet of the
Yeah, it is
person.
great. And we are, and he's really committed to that. He and I
Yeah.
had a long conversation the other day too.
Good.
And the other thing that I'm doing is working actually with talking with Notch about doing a take back day. Are you all familiar with the DEA does take back day or they don't sponsor it exactly. I guess they do in a sense. It's
Needles,
administered,
Not
needles.
the
It's any prescription meds.
Oh, yeah, I've turned in
Unused
stuff that
or
I
excess.
wasn't using, yeah.
But what has happened since I've been aware of it anyway, is that they tend to happen in St. Albans and Swan, but they never make it up to this part of the county. So I've been I initiated a conversation with Pam around doing a take back day here.
Well, I had read about it in the paper, so I went through my old medicine that I didn't use anymore, and I tried to get the pharmacy, and she just looked at me, wasn't the pharmacist.
Yeah.
I said, can I turn these in? Isn't it take back day? And she just looked at me and
Yeah, they-
I did turn them in, they did take them.
Oh,
but-
they did, well.
But she was like, what do you mean? So they must have not done it everywhere.
Well, yeah, and you have to, it has to.
Yeah,
either
or you have to put it
policemen
somewhere.
there, or this or that. I mean,
Yeah,
there's all
she just
kinds of
looked at me.
restrictions. So we're trying to we have somebody who wants to come up here.
Good, well, let's do it.
So-
Perfect.
Yeah.
So we'll do that,
Yeah.
and that'll be a good way to kind of
Yeah.
introduce that idea.
Well, you don't know what to do with old pills, they sit around the house.
Well, they do, and they,
You know.
and they become a danger
Yeah.
if they're not
Absolutely.
properly disposed of.
Right.
So I don't know if anybody has any questions for me
Do you have,
otherwise.
do you have my email here?
I'm not sure I do,
Okay,
actually.
why don't I give it to you so that
I'd
you
love
can
to.
keep communicating?
Right, okay. Which page?
Yeah. So
Where
If
am
you
I?
like me, you put it down, then you'd lose it.
I know, here's the list, okay.
Select board
Yeah,
at richfordbt.org. And I'll get it.
okay.
And I'll step over to
So that's it, I just wanted to introduce myself
Okay.
and.
Good.
and,
Appreciate you coming way up here.
Great. I will, I live in Wickham, it's not that.
Oh, okay,
There you
then I don't feel
This is
so
where I
bad.
am. Not a big deal.
Good. Anybody have any questions before Beth leaves?
Oh, thank you.
Thank you
thank
for coming
Is he
in.
reading the?
Great, well, if you do, feel free to call me, my contact information's on the front.
Great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Beth at FCCP or .org.
3 Cs, yeah.
3 Cs, okay.
Otherwise, it gets to a church in California.
Oh, there you go.
I got a message from them once, please correct
Please
you.
change it.
All right,
you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
We'll see
Thank
all
you.
later. Take care.
Josh, you were here now?
Yep, just visiting.
Visiting?
Yeah, I got something.
Okay.
I was out cleaning the driveway today, as you all saw when you're walking in, and I noticed that the 2 drains there that were installed have severely deteriorated a lot more than I thought they had before. Now, I was wondering if it might be possible if the town can come over and put some asphalt down or do something, because the water's going down under there into the ground instead of going into the drain, and it's all it's gonna do is erode the dirt out from underneath there. It's gonna cause more problems in the future. And,
Actually, Till looked at it today. You want to say what you want to say about it now?
oh, the back there, yeah, we
Oh,
had,
that's a different.
this is a different
Oh, okay.
thing.
Yeah, I know. Yep.
But the one up here by where I go in the house is there's a hole and the water just goes down in. But the one down by the mailbox, the asphalt has deteriorated to a point where it's just powdered, it just pebbles now.
I saw that.
And it needs to have a patch or something done to stop the water from going down in and eroding the soil anymore.
It needs to be cut around it
Well, yeah, the right way to do it is to cut around it and do it the right way.
and cut it about 1.5 inches, 2 inches off the top and set it down in. Because the water don't go uphill with the garden.
And I know it don't. Those have risen up out of the ground as well, unfortunately.
So,
When they were put in,
it's up to you. What are we going to do?
It's not up to me.
that's up to the highway department.
Yeah, it would be a highway
Okay.
issue. It's
That's a highway issue. I know he's not here. That's, but
So-
He
I
doesn't come to our
wanted,
meetings. I'll talk to him tomorrow.
I wanted to bring it up before you
Wayne's
anyway.
not here, okay.
I'd have to take a look at it.
Well, I can have John look at it. It's at the bottom. of
Well,
the-
what's the,
All
who owns the driveway is the question.
This what?
Who owns the driveway is the
I
question.
own the driveway. The
Right.
town has a right of way.
Well,
And the town is supposed to maintain it so for them to use it.
That was,
Yeah, I'm not questioning that. I'm just, you know,
that was the original.
I allowed the town to do that mess out there.
Okay.
I didn't have to allow the town to do that out there.
I understand. I'm just,
calm down.
Well, I'm just, you know,
Because we don't
looking
have
to
to allow
agitate
you
you.
to
I'm-
park behind our fire escape either, but,
it's just,
No.
I just need to look into who's responsible for what.
right, okay. why
And
don't we do
certainly
that
if it's
tomorrow?
something that's broken,
Mm-hmm.
we can communicate with the highway guys to see about
Mm-hmm.
putting some patch down or excavate or digging it out and doing it the right way so that the water drains out of there.
and don't forget that works both ways. You might not want me to park back there, but I might not want you to use the driveway either. And it works both ways, remember
It
that.
does unless somebody has to get out because of the fire.
Well,
You know, that's a little more.
I'm not talking about people getting out, I'm talking about access with vehicles. you don't need to threaten me by telling me.
I didn't threaten you, I
Yeah,
just
you did.
suggested that this is a give and take, you know.
Well, it is a give and
You park
take.
back there, you keep wood back there, we use the driveway.
I
It's
paid for that
everybody's.
privilege back
Okay,
there, too.
All right. All right, I wasn't on the board when they made the.
No, you
arrangement,
weren't.
So I'm
I'll
keeping out of
move
it.
on.
We're moving on.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Yep,
Thank you.
all right.
Like
So
I said, we'll look into it.
Who's gonna look into it?
I'll see what it's about,
Okay,
and I'll get a
Tim
hold
will-
of Johnny or
Okay,
whatever.
Tim will look into
Okay.
it.
There is one additional thing to that.
Yeah,
Up in back here, they put those stone in, pea stone,
they.
to
Yeah, who's they?
absorb the water.
No, who put it in? We did?
That was part of the job when the town put the driveway.
Okay, all right.
Yes,
Okay, I'm just,
yeah. No,
it's
I-
long before my time.
I
I'm just,
know,
you know.
mine too.
But, yeah, I've been around too long, I know. And,
Okay.
And they put those pea stone in there so that the eaves drip, and it goes down into the ground.
Yep.
Rather than, well, they never put anything in front of the pea stone.
And it's all washing out
It
now.
keeps washing out.
Yeah, that's what he mentioned at the last
It's 16
time.
feet from corner to corner.
Yeah,
It would take 12 cement blocks
okay,
and a little bit of water
yeah.
to hold those in there.
That's the wall that he was speaking of last meeting.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
all right.
And I went up, measured it, and looked at it, and I met with him up there. I was out here, and he was in the driveway, so I went and talked to him. And
So who's gonna take care of that? The cement blocks. If that's what you wanna do, who's gonna do that? We need to know.
well, if we decide to do it.
Well, let's decide.
Greg's working right
Yeah,
there.
I'll take a look at it.
All right.
I'll try to get to it tomorrow.
Okay.
What's his last name?
Heman.
Hebert.
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 Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
It is a legal
Make it
complaint.
clear.
What's that?
I said
I'd like
that
to
is-
see what the original agreement is.
Yes, and I'd like to
You know,
make it
as
clear
the-
there's no threat, but when somebody
Right.
parks behind a fire escape, it
Totally
might lead to
understand.
some problems if we
Oh.
have a fire.
Right.
It was a
And
bit of a mix-up.
When, back when they did it? I would
we must
know.
have some records
Oh,
somewhere.
Eric was on the board and he had it done, so.
We'll look
We
into
can
it.
look
There's
into it.
record of it, because you've got the contract
Yeah.
with, Stevens and Trudell did the engineering.
Stevens, Larry's son,
Oh,
that's, forgot the name of the, I'll find it.
Trudell is the other.
Trudell.
He merged with. And,
All I got in my head is Lamb.
well, before that, he was working on it with somebody else,
Yeah.
and they split up, and,
Okay,
and,
it must be in there.
yeah, it should be.
Okay,
And,
so we're gonna look into
the-
it.
Well,
All right,
the cost for blacktop, everything should be there too. so.
okay.
And all the, and the drains, as far as I was concerned at the time, those catch basins weren't put in right at the time. And I told them that, but they didn't want to listen,
Well,
so.
that's water under the driveway, isn't it? Okay, let's vote on the minutes of the August 7th meeting.
Move to approve.
Do I have a second?
Yeah,
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, I went to the post office basement with Connie the other day. What a beautiful building, God,
Yeah, it is.
beautiful basement. I mean, you could
Yeah.
live down there. It's so
Yeah.
clean and
Yeah.
the architecture is so
Yeah.
nice.
That's pretty good.
What we were doing was trying to find out who owned what, so I could ask people if, are you still around, do you still want this, do you still this? So I made a few calls and we got it straightened out. There is, however, a leaf blower, a lawnmower, there's three things down there, lawnmower, leaf blower, and what's the other thing you would use on the lawn? Oh, a
Weed
weed
whacker.
whacker.
we'd like it.
That Angie used to use, and now we have Matt, and I didn't know if you wanted to just leave them there in case we ever go back to doing our own lawn, or,
It might be a good idea,
Okay.
because they're in pretty good shape.
they're in good, very good shape,
Yeah,
that's
they're
why.
very good.
They're in good
Okay,
shape.
so we'll
And,
just, we
and
just need to have people know who they belong to, that's why,
Right.
I'm gonna try to
Yeah.
label some things like, at least if Connie knows too,
Right.
that's one thing, but there's a lot of space down there.
And as you talk about that, I don't know if you saw that email that I sent that
I skimmed it today, I didn't have time to read it.
reopening
Yes.
via email the contract negotiations with the post office. And referring back to their original proposal, and they just didn't have the square footage correct, because they
Because they
didn't
use
know
the
that they
downstairs.
use a lot of the basement area and things like that.
Oh.
So I think we can work out a deal pretty quickly with
Well,
them.
pertaining to that, Tim Domina,
Yeah,
if he becomes postmaster,
yeah.
he is going to go down there and clean out a lot of their stuff. So I don't know if that means they don't need it. That was one of the areas I wanted to make sure. And the school has moved everything out of their little room because it leaks. When that roof is fixed, when Greg fixes the roof, that won't leak anymore into that. See, I think the old jail, because it has bars on the window, yeah.
Yeah.
So everything is out of there, and the walls are peeling, and Connie's scraping them down and cleaning, she's cleaning everything.
Mhm.
And but they said they wouldn't be using that again. They brought everything out and they want to get rid of it. And I said, I think nicely, that the town wasn't going to pay to get rid of the school's old
Right.
furniture. So they said, if you want it, take it. So I went down and looked at it. I don't know if anybody wants anything. The chairs are broken. I suppose we could put a chair in the dumpster every now and then, but
There are some bookcases or something
we
Connie
looked
said
at
she
them,
was gonna take,
and
or
Kim looked at them,
Okay.
yeah, and I said, I guess nobody cares.
there's a lot of 3-ring binders. if
Well, she
anybody
brought a
wants any
bunch
of
over
those.
for Alan,
Okay,
yeah.
So,
So that was, and then there was, like, the Operation Happiness has a bin there, and then the guys put the flags down there, and there's
Yeah.
fall
and there's
foliage,
Christmas decorations.
Christmas
and there's all
decoration,
kinds
but
of
they're
stuff
all
out there.
in order, so it was surprisingly in order.
Yeah, it's pretty
Very
well
spacious.
organized,
Yes,
and
it
there's a
is.
lot
It
of
is.
room down there.
Lots of room. But it says it's our civil defense area, so I was gonna try to do something in there to make it, if you actually had to use it, maybe a flashlight or a few chairs, but then somebody said, well, we use the school, so probably never use it.
Well, that's where the generators are now.
Yeah, the
so-
generators are there, so. And as we were down there, that reminds me, I saw all the fall foliage stuff, and Sherry Paquette and the Legion Auxiliary this year are gonna do a fall foliage. And they were talking about a bouncy house. I said, if you have a bouncy house, you get some insurance from the guy that owns it, because
It's-
last time we got in trouble, they got in trouble.
It's Fireman's Auxiliary,
What did I say?
Legion.
Okay, firemen's.
And it's
Yeah.
Fireman's Auxiliary, and it's,
Yeah, it is.
I think they can probably work through
They're gonna do the Lions.
the Lions
Yeah.
Club to get the
The
insurance.
insurance for the other stuff, yeah.
Because Jeremy's very active in the Lions Club.
And I told her there was a lot of stuff down there, so we're gonna go down and take a look.
Just for at the playground.
Huh?
Where would they hold?
Davis
this?
Park.
Oh, at Davis
Yeah,
Park, okay.
yeah, yeah. Speaking of the playground, the men have taken all the old playground equipment away.
Yeah,
And as far as I know, it's going in a dumpster, and I don't care to know any more about it. As long as kids aren't playing on it anymore, it's
All right, that should
unsafe.
go
I think
off
it's
the
unsafe.
junkyard.
Well, they brought it up the garage, but, if somebody picks the dumpster, I can't help it, but that's where it's going. And they're going to be putting up some new stuff in the very near, next week or so. He's gonna,
yeah, all
Finish
all
them.
the new stuff has been delivered.
it's been delivered, and there's gonna be a lot more.
Town guys are taking care
And
of
I don't
it for us.
think there's enough room for everything, so we're gonna have to go down
Well,
and
I know.
expand that playground a little bit, because I'm gonna order some more.
I
Yeah.
don't know where you're gonna put it, but we'll
Well,
find a spot.
I was
yeah.
gonna ask you, what about behind the basketball nets? Is there any, no? Okay. just
Well,
ask.
no. It's just the issue of
Crossing the road?
is it gonna be stuff that would be used by the little ones?
I haven't even gotten the little kids' stuff yet. So should that,
Oh,
yeah, this stuff I've got is for
what ages?
5 to 12. I mean, little ones could get in the climbing and stuff, but the really little stuff I'm gonna get with that Promise grant is for the little tykes, like the 2 to 5.
I mean,
Should that be closer to the ball field? We need to,
the issue is, if it's over there by the basketball
it's too far away.
thing, and there's lots of little ones
Yeah, and the
down there,
road.
they're gonna run them back and forth across the road if parents aren't watching.
Is there any
But if there's a
expansion?
way to control that or whatever, that's
don't
fine.
think-
I think Johnny made some room over there.
Yeah, well, I think some of this that I've just ordered, because Leanne ordered a couple things that were
Well,
two. And There's a big double camelback
Well,
thing. that goes like-
while we're doing this, I'll just do my playground stuff at the same time.
Okay.
Because Leanne called today and we're gonna get together. And
Okay.
she said she has something she needs to tell me that.
Okay,
Yeah.
go ahead.
But I don't know, and I don't know what it is, but we're gonna go over the installation of the hot water tank
Yeah.
and the toilet and all that stuff. So,
Okay,
but she has a surprise or something, I don't know.
a surprise, I hope it's a good one.
I don't.
Well, in this other grant that I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have, because we have it already, I wanna put in some new bleachers, I want some cameras, whatever they may be, to everywhere, to
That's
watch
what you have for money.
a lot.
I know you do.
And a sign, you know, there's some things I want besides just playground equipment like I said, I looked at the bleachers, there's not enough bleachers for people to sit on. I'm gonna do some,
No.
I wanna do some benches.
Not at all.
Some actual benches. Well, we'll go, you and I can pretty much, because you gotta tell
We
me
could
where
build
I'm gonna
another-
put
We
everything.
could build another grandstand. When we were kids, we had a nice
Yeah, we
grandstand.
could build one that doesn't
Burned it
burn
down.
this, they burned the one in Enosburg too, so,
Burned it down.
everybody, that was the rage.
At the softball field?
Huh?
There's no bleachers at the
Well, I
softball
was gonna
field,
put
right?
some there too.
There are, but there's
crap.
one set,
Yeah,
maybe?
one set
Okay.
everywhere, one
Yeah.
set.
Yeah, they need, and they're old.
Yeah, and they're a couple
old.
$1,000s a
Yeah,
piece,
sure.
so I thought,
Sounds great.
put some bleachers in too, and some benches, and some,
Something not wood.
oh no, it won't be wood. Yeah, it won't be wood. Anyway, we need to go down and, I didn't know if we could push back on that area that's already there, push that fence back, mow that, or is it a
Fill
dead?
it in. I don't know what's right there. We'll have to go
We'll get
look.
Johnny down there, yeah, okay.
Yeah, we'll make the highway guys look.
Yeah, we'll make them look. Okay. Letter, Karen, okay. Got a long letter from Karen Kangalowski today about a dumpster behind an apartment house, Dr. Lawless's old house, and she has all these questions. You know, did the owners go to the select board? Are there standards for dumpsters?
It's a zoning issue.
It's a zoning issue, but I had a dumpster for a month at my house. They're still, I checked, they're still paying their garbage. I think somebody's moving out of there, and they've got the dumpster
Is
for
it a
that.
temporary dumpster for
Well, that's what I.
debris, or are they
well, this is-
remodeling
this
or
is
something?
third
I
letter,
don't know.
third letter. That's what I keep trying to tell her, that I think
Uh,
it's just a moving dumpster, so I'm not.
Well, it would be
okay.
a zoning issue, it's not
Well,
a,
she sent John the letter too, but this
Okay.
is to us.
all right.
And so I just thought she was anxiously awaiting our response, so I tried to respond
Sure.
as much as I knew.
Does she say how many days it's been there?
She doesn't,
Oh,
but I know they're gonna get out by September 1st, so
Yeah.
my thought was wait till September
yeah.
15th, because, you know,
I think that's what it
Weatherby
is.
probably
She's
is gonna
empty
pick up.
dumpster.
Well, I think so. I had one in my yard for months, because I was cleaning my shed out, so. Anyway, I just wanted to mention, we got that letter, and it was addressed to us. Underground permit, Wayne's not here. The Canes filled out their underground permit for that road business, that,
That's Dewey Street, that dumpster, right?
the corner of Dewey and
Yeah.
Province, yeah.
Yeah.
That one there, did Kane agreed to change it to meet specs, didn't they?
Well, what happened was, remember Wayne said well, John signed it today.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, their bore got caught, remember?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and they had to pull it out,
No,
so,
So to tear up the road. and-
yeah, but as I said, told them they needed to have a permit, so she filled it out, sent us the money, and Johnny signed it. I was gonna have Wayne sign it tonight, so that's all taken care of.
That's a driveway permit.
Driveway permit, yeah. And I just wanted to mention the Corliss Road looking good, and they told John he couldn't do it without closing the road.
Well, you know, I live on the corner
Right.
road and he did it without
Never an
delaying
interruption.
that traffic one bit, except a couple times when they had that huge backhoe
Right.
moving it around. Other than
No,
that, it was,
and two
that was a good
companies-
job.
Two companies
Excellent.
told him it couldn't be done, and he did it anyway, so, and did it well. Okay, I think that's, oh, well, I want to talk about the drug policy. I'll wait till you all get through, and then we'll go back to that. You have the week to look, 2 weeks to look at it, so. The one I gave you that Alan had. Okay, highway, Wayne's not here. Playground and cemeteries,
We did the playground.
okay.
Yes, the cemetery, On my way here, I was at South Richford with Dale Rose that does all the cleaning for us right now of the headstones. So we were checking headstones and straightening some, and he's going to make a count and give an estimate
For South Richford.
for South Richford.
How many more up there? We did a lot up there, didn't we?
We haven't cleaned them,
You talking about where our people are? Or where my people are?
you know.
Oh, where's South Richford?
South Richford
Where's that?
and the Whiteman Hill
That's the new one.
by Clark Irons. South Richford way end almost to Montgomery line. You-
Not the one you and I went to last summer and got the grant for. There's another cemetery?
No, yes, that's the one you
That's
got
the
the
one.
grant for, to
Oh,
have
you
them
cleaned them.
straightened.
Oh, now they're gonna be cleaned.
You can't get a grant to have them cleaned.
Right.
I took you out to that.
Yes,
Yeah.
now I know. Now I know. I didn't know that was called South
So,
Richford.
well, the thing is,
So he-
there are some large, and I don't know what you call the large monuments. There's some big ones up
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
But then there's all these,
little
they're
tiny
just,
kids.
and they're so old,
Can't
you
read
can't
them.
even read them.
Yeah.
But I said, you know, do I pay for this?
Yeah, or this.
Or, the same as, you go, no. Take a couple, 3 of these, that
That's
makes
one.
one, and then they make up for
He's pretty
what
reasonable.
I charge the same for everyone, except on the little ones, I put them
Put 'em
together. That's $8.
Okay, he's
And
very
even if it's a
good.
great big one, that's $8. So it comes out that way. He gave me a bill for East Richford tonight, so we'll have that taken care of,
Yeah.
and it's
I
very reasonable,
have to tell you,
unbelievable.
we went on a cemetery tour of the Gross family last
They're
week.
very,
And they were talking.
Oh,
you know,
that's right,
and
yeah.
Susie is from Morrisville, and she says, I can't believe what good shapes these cemeteries, because we went to some others in some other towns. And even down in Enosburg, Amanda, my daughter, cleaned her grandfather and mother's herself. I don't know who does it down there, but, and then she said, the lawns here are so nicely mowed, and the stones look so good. So we had some compliments.
yeah, Matt was mowing Richford Center tonight.
Yeah,
He's up there.
yeah.
He had days where he goes to
Yeah,
certain
different
ones
yeah,
every week.
Yeah.
There's certain ones every week.
Are we gonna get the one on Troy Street fixed? The one that was
The one that, what?
toppled over, or
Yeah.
was pushed over?
Dale's gonna fix all those
Oh,
for
good.
almost nothing.
I gave his name to Jay because we went up, when we were up,
Yes,
we
yes.
were up in East Richford, we went up to, it's actually, there's a little sad cemetery, but it's in Jay.
Yeah.
And everything is broken, you can't
Oh,
read it. So I
oh.
called the Jay town clerk and asked her about it. She said they're gonna talk about it tonight. And she was gonna call me, and I gave her Dale's name.
Is that, I think I asked, is that the one before the Morse Farmer?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's up
On the left?
That spelt what's in there is Morse's and.
Well, no, we didn't recognize too many of the names in there. We went up and looked at it and tried to read the stones, which was hard.
There's no fence or anything?
No, there's nothing in there
There's
broken.
nothing there.
It's the saddest cemetery. And we thought if we had some relatives there, we'd get Dale to go and do it ourselves.
Yep.
But they weren't any of our relatives. And she said, they don't pay much attention to that road, and we plow it because they don't come over and plow
Right,
it.
we have
Yeah,
an
yeah, we have an
agreement.
agreement. So I mentioned it to her, and I did give her Dale's name, and I told her about the Vermont Cemetery Association grant, so hopefully they're gonna, because everybody thinks it's in Richford, because it's on the, it goes Richford J, Richford J.
It does, it's strange.
J, Canada, Richford.
Yeah.
The road is the line right
The
through
road is the
there.
line.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but, if they can get a grant, they can get.
I
we got
gave her the name.
$750.
That one
Well,
was
heck,
nice.
that paid for almost everything up at South Richford to get those straightened.
Yeah,
So,
so. And we.
well, you have to go take pictures before and after.
Yeah, but we
Linda did the
did.
paperwork and worked
We
on
did
it.
it. Yeah, but we were at the Slide Road Cemetery, and I told you before, my niece said, well, what if I told her we were in Canada, and she says, what if the Border Patrol comes? I said, give them 5 minutes, and they were there, the guy got out talking. So the other day, this is weird, we took a picnic, and we had it at the Slide Road.
Oh.
And my cemetery, and my granddaughter said, do you think the Border Patrol will come? I said, well, here they come now. They're coming right down the road to see
Yeah, you
what's
can
going on.
almost
Oh, they
set your
know,
watch
they
by
know
it.
what's going on up there. I was very
Gee,
impressed.
maybe there's something there that lets them know.
I wonder. Yeah. Okay, so, are you finished?
It's well covered, well, yeah,
Yep.
thank you.
Buildings, and I got your very, I thought, high bill for that door.
Oh,
Jeez.
the estimate? Yeah, well, they have to replace the whole frame.
I know, 3,000.
Yeah, we have it budgeted. We have
All right.
$10,000.
Well, I'm sure, I'm not
in that building.
complaining, I'm just saying, boy, a door.
No, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Just let you know, $3,000 to do that door in the emergency services building. Because the frame's all rotted.
Yeah.
And we're going with a solid door, no window.
And he said he's gonna put it in, the next page says Saturday or Sunday.
Okay, very
Yeah,
good.
Saturday, right?
I think Saturday or Sunday, he
Or
said.
Sunday.
I'll get a hold of them and
That
coordinate
came
for...
today.
Yep, okay. And do we have anybody to do the carpentry work on the elevator?
Yep,
Yep.
Okay.
it's,
And what's the price on that?
he didn't give us a price, it has to be done this week, so I don't,
Okay.
Oh, you didn't? Oh,
It's
you didn't?
it's
Oh.
Glen
We
Amberry.
were just happy to get him.
Well, because, I mean, we do have that other bid from Greg
I hope
for,
his isn't more, Till was dealing with him, and I,
you don't know, it doesn't matter, it needs to be done.
It's gonna be.
We have the money.
Tony material.
Okay, that's perfect, that's perfect. And it
and he's
shouldn't
already,
be,
he's already talked to, the guy from the elevator company, they were here together the other day.
Okay.
He pulled out the wall to see what was behind it.
yeah,
And he's talked to the electric guys.
D&D, and they're
Yeah.
coming in this week, I
They're
guess.
talking, they're
Yeah.
talking, yeah.
Okay,
That's D&D.
D&D is doing the
Yeah.
electric box,
Yeah,
yeah.
and the guy
And they
from-
know where the run's gotta go,
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
came and checked it out
Yeah.
with me
Yeah.
a couple months ago, actually.
Yeah,
And library's getting close.
looks good.
It looks very good.
Looks very nice.
He hasn't gotten to the post office steps yet,
Yeah.
and
John's doing the ones below, you know, the ones
Right,
on the
I
road.
understand.
They were there today doing
But-
something.
yeah, there's some patch preparations
Yeah.
starting
Yeah,
and
he's
so
doing the
forth.
two on the.
But I'm
on the one
gonna,
level.
before I get the cinder blocks for the drainage back here, I gotta get him
Yeah.
to complete something before he doesn't start
Well, he
something
needs-
else.
let's have him do
Yeah.
the roof too first,
Yeah.
because it's leaking into that room.
Right, absolutely, yeah. And it's bubbling on the wall.
And bubbling on the
Yeah,
wall.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's, you guys know as much about public buildings as I do.
Only because I'm here. I
Yeah,
hear it
that's
as it
okay.
goes through.
And
Yeah.
that's the,
Good.
and we will be writing up an RFP for, I will be writing an RFP for the roof here, and I'll run it by this board before we put it out to bid. We'll accept bids over the winter, we'll award the contract, pending town budget approval. You know, we can award it before town meeting,
Yeah,
pending.
pending budget.
Approval.
Yeah, the contingency will be approval at the town meeting, and then whoever gets the contract can start as soon as the weather's good in the spring.
So we don't see any concerns for the winter about, no. should be
Doesn't leak
okay.
now, there's no water intrusion, and, you know, we have had issues with shingles coming off and high winds
I
and,
picked up a bunch of them yesterday.
yeah, they do, it was, yeah. But there's still no water coming in, I guess, it's pretty well sealed.
It ain't rained since he came off.
Yeah, well, we'll see. If we gotta patch it, we gotta patch it, you know.
Now, something was going on here today. Everybody was upstairs in the auditorium, and Alan said somebody opened this door and left it unlocked. On the side
Opened-
door, this door he was talking about last
Oh,
week.
They,
That's, we don't know.
The one
He said it was
the
unlocked.
fire door over there.
Yeah.
The lock went bad. Did you?
Connie
talk
fixed
with
it,
him?
didn't she?
nobody's said anything to me.
Me either.
Well, that was Friday.
Oh, I wasn't here Friday.
It wouldn't lock, so he put a
Who's he?
rope on it. Alan put a rope on it so they couldn't open it from the outside. And,
They were up
because
there
it would
today.
just, well, he went up and it was wide open.
Yeah.
The lock wouldn't lock, and the wind had.
All right, I'll,
Connie fixed one door. here in the building, but can't be
She
inside.
she might have found something to fix that one with.
Well,
Yeah,
I
she
didn't
fixed
see
the
her
door in the
today.
post office too, the back door there that she straightened all out. Because I was talking to Camco about replacing that, and she said, oh, you don't have to replace it.
She just
She
fixed it.
fixed it.
Yeah,
She's worth
So-
the money.
she might have fixed that.
I don't know if she had to
I'll
go
check on
in.
that, but who is the group that was upstairs? or
Well,
who's
Alan
it?
and Eric, the group from the downstairs.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it wasn't a
Oh,
group, it
I
was-
thought you
The town
felt
hall.
like someone was using the
Well, no, they
auditorium
kept
or
going up and
something.
down the stairs. I said, what are you doing up there?
I
And they
got
said
you.
the door
Okay, I'm
wouldn't
sorry.
shut. Yeah. no.
I'll stop by in the morning and
Yeah,
see
I
what I
don't know
can
what.
find out.
But I didn't see Connie today, so I didn't get a chance to ask.
Okay.
I saw her on the sidewalk carrying a broom.
Yeah. That's it?
Well, as we mentioned, her, did that increase go in? Perfect, thank you
Yeah,
very
Should
much.
have been this week. She thanks us tremendously.
Well, no, that's good. I wanted to follow up and make sure that
Yeah,
that
yeah. I had Alan
went
do
in
it the
and-
next
perfect.
paycheck.
No, that's great. She's well worth it.
She is.
She's
And
a tremendous asset. right now.
As she's mopping the post office, this thick, I've got some in my office. It's coming.
Stuff comes off
Stuff
the
is coming
floor.
off the floor, so she asked Greg to order some stuff that she's gonna do the whole floor with and then seal, because it's asbestos, I guess, underneath, so you have to keep it covered.
seal it up?
Seal it.
I guess that's what it is,
Well,
yeah.
yeah, so anyway,
Or
she's,
if that's what somebody told them
Told them,
at
yeah.
one time,
Nasty
so.
looking.
well, anyway, it's a thick, it's almost like rubber, but it isn't rubber, but she says every time I mop, she brought it into me. So she ordered some stuff and she's gonna do the whole floor and then seal it, so.
Okay,
She's on top of it.
Yeah, good job.
Yep. That it?
that's it.
Chris, public safety, firearms ordinance.
Well, before we get to that, I wanted to just mention one thing,
Yeah,
one
sure.
more thing, and I'm not a big user of the social media sites like Facebook or Twitter and all of that.
Yeah.
Do that. You know, email is not as far as I go. However, in the last week, we were able to locate the owners of 2 stray dogs within 1 to 3 hours after Tracy put their photographs
On the,
on Facebook.
good enough.
Yeah.
Good, that's good.
She put it out to all, I get, you know, her group or
Yeah, yeah,
friends,
and they
and
found
they
it.
put it out, and
Good.
they put it out, and they put it out, and
Well, I lost my daughter's dog in St. Albans one day, a couple summers ago. And Mary Schumer put it out, we went looking for her. She put it out on Facebook, and I gotta tell you, it was like constantly coming in. She's over on High Street, we saw her over here. Well, we spent 2 hours looking for her and went home, couldn't find her, she was sitting in the yard. But everybody in St. Albans, I can't believe, we must have gotten 50
Tracy
hits
said-
or whatever.
Tracy said it was unbelievable.
It is.
It was just
It
a
is.
boom, boom, boom,
Yeah.
boom, boom, and then
Yeah.
all of a sudden, that's my dog.
Dog.
You know,
Yeah.
which was nice. There's a lady on the South Richford Road, almost to the Montgomery line. I believe people live on the left. They raise goats and
Oh, yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
And
Oh, yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
She found it and she took it home and she took care of it and told Tracy that she would keep it until, you know, and
We've been lucky so far
yeah,
with the dogs.
and then, well, the other one was, and this is something I've got to check on, which I forgot to do today. Tracy gets a call from Bed and Biscuit. We got a stray. Well,
Not ours, is it?
in Berkshire.
Yeah, you're in Berkshire now.
We don't have anybody anymore. There was a lady in Montgomery who took care of both, and I forgot to call the
But it's not our
Berkshire.
problem. Is it?
No,
No.
but what Tracy told her, said, take some pictures. Do you use
Put it on
Facebook?
Facebook,
And
yeah.
she said, well, yeah. She said, take some pictures of the dog,
Mhm.
put it out on Facebook, send it to me. I'll put it out on mine, you put it out on whoever you do, 2 hours.
They found the owner. We
Wow,
have to find out what dog is getting after Paul.
Paul, yeah, I'm going to see him tomorrow.
Okay. Some dog that's.
I gotta
getting
call
at
the
what he's
Berkshire
picking up
Paul,
trash,
yeah,
It's
Paul.
over on,
his
what
last
street is
name?
it?
On Powell Street,
Not Richard.
I don't know.
Oh, Paul, what's Paul's last name? I forget.
Johnston.
Johnston.
Johnston, yeah, that's right.
Okay, is that it for the dogs?
That's it for the dog.
Okay.
Last
Well,
week I...
wait a minute, speaking of the.
Dogs?
No, Facebook.
Okay,
When are we gonna get our thing public, our revise, our,
the website thing?
yeah.
I sent him the information about a month ago.
Well, he left a message at my house over the weekend that
Oh,
said,
did-
are you ready to go public? And I said, I gotta talk to Chris first, I can't,
Who left it?
I don't know, I'll look at it again, I'll tell you tomorrow, I don't know. I
You know,
said, "Oh."
write it down, because I sent them everything from the old company.
Yeah.
Whatever their name is.
Because I'd like to
There
go
was
on and see.
a whole list of things of where that was registered and how, because you have to go in and change
Well-
something, and they said, you know, we can do it for you. I said, that works for me. So I copied it all and I sent it to them, and they called my house Friday.
Oh, that's when they called my house.
They never left a message.
Okay. Well, we need to get our minutes on there, and I'd like to look at it and stuff.
Yeah.
Kim can put pictures
Well,
up.
well,
Let's,
I'll tell
tomorrow or
you.
the next day, work on calling them.
That is a lot of work.
Yes, it is. It
And
is a lot of work.
I'm not a webmaster,
Me
I'll tell
either.
you that.
Well, that was the point, that they would be doing it all, so
Well,
we just need to learn how to put our stuff.
They don't.
I know. Well, we can cancel it anytime, but since we paid them for this year, I'd like to get it
Yeah.
up. We'll
Okay.
call them from the office. Okay,
I'll come in tomorrow.
okay,
Yeah.
I'll be here.
Last week I handed out a draft of a firearm discharge ordinance. I talked with Till about it. He's expressed his opinions and concerns, which I respect. They do everybody's. I don't know about Wayne's or whatever, or you know, or anybody else. There were errors in it, which have been changed. There's also there was a section concerning the area that would be
That's where I have a
involved.
question.
And apparently nobody in town seems to have wording or anything for the old town boundaries or limits or whatever it is. But anyway,
Listers have anything?
no, they have nothing. They made a map.
You can figure it easy enough. It's the old water district.
Okay, well, we'll look up the old water.
The old water district, yep. I got one from the firemen, have a map of the village in there. They have a big map book upstairs, it's really neat.
Cool.
So I copied that one, but I wanted to ask the listers and zoning, you know, again, what they thought it would be. But, the water district map, okay.
We can find that, I'm sure.
All right, we can find one. Now, because there is concern, I know there's concern on this, for various reasons. For some people have some don't, whatever, doesn't matter. We have a couple options. We can have the board review it. We can have the board sign it or not sign it. We can, or someone could petition to have it put on the ballot. Like we did with, well, not, we didn't do it.
No.
What was it? Carl put that on regarding
Police,
the school resource
resource
officer or
officer.
something, and the voters would decide,
Oh, yeah.
so.
I read it thoroughly, and I didn't see it, except for the area.
I will not make that decision
No.
as to how, the board will make that decision.
Right.
But
One thing here, Chris, the muzzle loader shall mean a firearm. A muzzle loader is not considered a firearm by by ATF.
That can be changed. It'll just be taken out.
So, there's, well, like I told you, there are a number of things we disagree on it. And in all honesty, I see it as fear mongering. That's it.
I'm a fearmonger. Is that what you're calling me?
I'm beginning to think so.
Well,
All right, we're not gonna call anybody any
yeah,
names.
we don't call people names.
And,
We don't,
I said it was fear-mongering.
Well,
well.
he's responding to some complaints, first of all. It's not like it's something he's just thought up. He's responding. Go ahead, Tim.
I was going to say, I think last time we talked about expanding the exemptions clause, and I don't know if that's actually necessary, or if it's goes as undefined.
It's actually
Is-
some of it's in here.
Okay,
Like
but,
the police being able to use
no, but for personal
self-defense.
protection,
Yeah,
and the two that come to mind that we
That's
raised
in
last
there.
Rabid
time.
animals.
Okay,
That's in there already.
Yeah.
Personal protection and the putting down animals,
Right.
whatever.
That's in there.
That's, okay, very good. And then my other question is, the penalties, okay?
Yeah, here.
What do you,
Those penalties, first offense.
well, no, I see up
or these
here,
at the
there's
end.
a civil penalty of up to $400 for each discharge, and that's in section 6.
Yeah.
And then you go down to section 8, and it's
Yeah,
first
they're
offense
different.
75, and second offense 100, third
Is
offense
that on the
200.
waiver portion of it?
Well, in section 6, it says enforcement before the Traffic and Municipal Ordinance Bureau.
Day 75.
Any
100.
person who discharges a firearm in violation of this ordinance shall be subject to a civil penalty of up to $400.
Right.
Is the civil penalty different than the municipal penalty?
Shouldn't be.
Okay, so it contradicts that in section 8, where
We
it
can get
says,
rid of section 8.
Yep.
okay, that's
And
fine.
just say up to, and then, but how will we be fair about if somebody continues to shoot?
Well, that civil penalty is issued by a court of law.
Yeah.
Correct? Section 6. So,
Because that's
and then, so,
before the traffic.
I just don't follow
The
section
reasoning of-
6,
of
7,
that.
and 8.
Okay.
Because it all talks about
Money.
penalties and who
We need to
enforces
decide
them
on one,
and
yeah.
who, and what's the amount gonna be and so forth. I just like some.
We can get rid of that. We can do whatever we want.
No, I'm not.
We
I'm
need
not-
some penalties,
We need
though.
some teeth in it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so, and whatever those teeth might be.
Well,
But
I'm welcome to anything anybody wants to tell me.
personally, I think,
Section 7?
Well-
That's fine, or not? Or you want
I-
to say up to 400?
well, it's like, we have a waiver fee for the complaint. First offense is 50, and then we have a civil penalty for ordinance, and the first offense is 75. And then up above, we have civil penalty of up to 400.
Yeah,
And,
like the animal one.
yeah.
I'm gonna write you a citation for this much that you can go to court and fight, or if you want to say, yep, I did it, well, then you're waiving that, and it's gonna be your first
Okay,
offense.
all right.
Right.
That's what they do. but
And it starts every 12 months. It's not like a forever thing.
It can be reworded.
Counted on. So how would you like it worded? What would you like it to say? Because he can,
Write it up and we'll go
I mean,
over it.
yeah.
I don't think anybody cares when they get a $50 ticket. I don't think it
No, I
means
know.
anything to them.
No,
They're never
throw it
gonna,
away.
it's like a parking ticket, they're gonna throw it away.
There's no way this could be totally complete. There's no way it can please everyone. It's no way
Right.
it could.
But this will give the sheriff the opportunity to go and say, here's a ticket, right?
Yeah, he couldn't write one last time.
He couldn't write one before because we didn't have an ordinance.
Gotcha.
Now, at least he can write a ticket.
Then
That-
leave it the way it is. And let them make the decision
Right,
on
if
it.
they want to do it once, twice, 3 times.
And personally, I think it's needed. I'm in disagreement. I apologize. I think it's something that's needed to protect some of the people from themselves.
Well, I need input
Because-
from Wayne.
Okay?
Okay, well, we'll want to put it off till the next.
Yep.
It also
fine.
says is no way prohibits the possession of firearms. It
Yeah, no, it's,
doesn't tell you you can't
it's
have
not gun control. It's just.
Don't shoot in the village.
Exactly. It's too highly a populated area.
Yeah.
That's all. And people people that own firearms, and you know this, aren't necessarily responsible people.
I know that.
And this type of thing, really, I hate to say it, but it protects them from themselves.
No, no.
Oh, it certainly
How
does.
come you don't have a machine gun in here? Christopher,
Yes.
why don't you have a machine gun in here? You don't think they, not machine, but
It's
those
somewhat reasonable.
assault weapons?
In what way do you assume that it protects them from themselves?
Because if
Explain that to me.
they need to have the guidance provided to them so that they just don't rent, it's like, I came from other parts of the country, and
Oh, I know.
on holidays, it was a big thing, New Year's Eve, everybody goes out and shoots their guns up in the air. And
We don't do that
invariable,
here.
well, but
But we can if we don't have.
who's to say knuckleheads like me don't come from away and want to shoot my guns on New Year's Eve instead of shooting fireworks like they do around here? And so I'm out in my yard shooting like this, and one comes down and strikes a neighbor.
Well,
And
I
if-
don't know, but we've been incorporated here since 1793,
Yeah,
and there's never been a case of it.
well, but that's not to say that.
Nobody's ever been shot in Richford?
I didn't say
Okay,
that.
all right.
That was purposely done.
Yes.
That, okay, how is this going to prevent that?
Well, it's not. But those people are in jail, you know?
Yes, but how is this going to have any effect on that?
But this is a result of someone taking target practice
Yeah, accidental
in the
shooting.
village, okay?
Yeah.
And thank
I-
God.
I don't do
thank-
that.
Thank God no one was hit, okay? But what I'm saying is, in this day and age, and you know better than anybody, the power of firearms in this day and age.
I got a fair idea.
They can, yeah, absolutely, I know you do. And, bullets can carry a long way.
Sure they can.
And if people are in the village, a highly populated area, and they're not thinking, and they're gonna say, oh, well, it's all open behind my yard, but, don't pay any attention to that house that's a half a mile away or a quarter of a mile away, and I'm shooting at a target in my backyard, and this is even more so, it's not only about personal injury, it's also about property injury, I got bullet holes in 4 windows in my house right now, okay?
They missed you.
Yeah, they missed me, whatever, but, and they're probably BB guns or pellet guns or whatever, but it's still discharging firearms in the village.
Doesn't
that-
cover pellet guns.
Well, okay, but understand what I'm saying? It could have easily been a 22, I don't know, okay? And so puts a hole in my window at my house in the village. And do you think that's appropriate? No one was hurt, no one was shot, but this also protects against property damage as well.
Well, okay, let's reuse another hypothetical. Somebody's hunting up on Drew Road.
Yeah.
They shoot at a deer. The deer is between them and the occupied village.
Yeah, sure.
So the bullet comes into the village.
Mm-hmm.
So where do you see the,
You're not regulated against that because it's within the village. I think this is in response to someone taking target practice in the village.
it probably is, but if you had a backstop,
But they did.
But they didn't, that's the point.
I don't
That's
know
where-
what they have.
That's where it
I
comes,
don't know where,
that's
what
where,
stirred this all up.
that's where it comes into protecting them against themselves, because they're not smart enough to have a backstop.
Well,
They think, oh, I can just shoot. There's not, I can't see anybody over there. Or like, I'm standing at my house and I shoot towards the river. What's to keep the bullet from going over to Intervale Avenue?
nothing.
That's what I'm saying. And I'm not smart enough to have a backstop to catch the bullet that I shoot in my yard. And I don't own any firearms.
Phil, if they
okay?
want to do target practice, go down to the shooting range.
Yeah.
That's what you got
That's
it there
what I
for.
do.
Well,
That's you.
why
You're
don't we-
responsible gun
Why
owner.
don't we have everybody else go there and be a
That's
responsible
what,
gun
and there'll
owner
be
like
more
you?
people joining.
We have tried recruitment programs
Well,
and everything.
Well,
There,
And,
maybe you'll get some more people if we have a restriction.
if we have a restriction, maybe you'll get an increase in membership. You're right.
I don't know.
Well, if anybody has, if you want changes or whatever, let me know. If you
All
want
right.
to get together,
Okay.
let me know.
Okay.
If you
It's a
don't want
foot
to
in
get
the door.
together, I don't care.
A foot in the door.
That's all it is.
For what?
For confiscation.
For what?
Confiscation.
No, it's not a gun
This ordinance in no
control
way
program.
prohibits the possession of firearms.
Yeah.
I know. But it's a foot in the door. That's how it all starts.
You know?
No.
Do a little bit of studying. Go back to 1968.
Well, unfortunately, it's not 1968 anymore. I wish it were.
That's when the confiscation stuff started. Look at California. They got ordinances like this all over. And they got way more crime than we got,
Well,
percentage-wise.
probably.
This
they
isn't
do.
going to prevent crime.
Of course it isn't.
It has
Well, what
nothing to
it's
do
for.
with crime.
Oh, it's-
It isn't.
So, okay, thank you for giving your opinion, my
Yeah.
opinion, and if anybody wants changes made, to tell Chris, we haven't voted on it yet. We'll bring it up
And
again in
and
2 weeks
I
when Wayne's
would-
here.
I would like to recommend that it's put into place by this board, or voted on by this board, as to
Oh,
whether or
rather
not,
than the town.
as opposed to going through the voter approval
We can do that.
process.
We can do that, we'll wait till we're all present.
Well,
Okay.
you have to remember,
Yep.
if the board signs it,
Yep.
and it needs 3 signatures, of course.
Yeah.
If the board signs it, it has to be posted
Posted.
for 60
60 days,
days from
I
the date of
understand that.
adoption.
Yeah.
Within 45 days,
Any citizen can appeal it.
anybody can
Yeah.
file a petition
Yep,
with 5% of the voters' signatures
Yeah,
to
that's right.
challenge it. So
That's
then
right.
there will be a special meeting and a vote.
Right.
yeah.
So that,
Takes
Why
the
don't we
70
just- why don't we
signatures.
just take it to the voters in the first place?
We can,
we can.
either way.
Fine, either way, whatever you want to, it just seems simpler if we implement it.
And if they don't want to do it, they'll come to us, and then we'll
That's
say,
fine.
okay, we'll vote on
And it'll be there.
it. Yeah.
It's available, that information, and if they,
Whatever you decide.
okay.
Let's
Okay,
move
so
on.
we'll talk about it in a couple weeks. Okay. As long as we're talking about ordinances, let's talk about the drug and alcohol policy.
Okay.
Alan, first of all, the policy I gave you 2 weeks ago is the state policy that we have to adhere to anyway. When
Right.
we
Yeah.
have, if we have a case ever,
Yep.
we have to go by this policy. It's
Yep.
basically for employees of the town of Richford who operate commercial motor vehicles or who will operate them if they are hired, transferred, or promoted. Employees and prospective employees are not subject to this policy by virtue of holding a CDL unless their job duties may require them to operate. What's a CMV?
Commercial license.
Oh, commercial motor vehicle, okay. So we have to go by these laws anyway. I read it again today.
Yeah.
The only thing we need, what my view on this, and Alan, I guess is why too, if we don't have a policy, then we were all confused about, well, what should we do? Should we let this person come back to work? Should we not? Should we blah, blah, blah? Can they operate this? Can they operate that? So if we have the policy, we don't have to scurry around if we need to. And he suggested only that we may add who will pay for the mileage and the time or an additional drug test. If an employee had a bad drug test or was alcohol test, who would pay would we pay them if they had to leave work to go for counseling or?
In order to get your CDL, you have to have a physical every year.
Right.
We don't pay for those, do we?
No.
I think so.
Well, our insurance
I don't know.
does. The insurance does.
I don't know.
I would say, I
I
would,
think the employer is supposed to pay for it.
I-
We have
I- I-
insurance. That's
well,
what pays for it.
Okay, I don't
We have
know.
insurance.
All right, and that would be my question, because it's along the same lines, that
Well,
if the
no.
town is paying for the physical in order for them to get their license, then the town should be responsible for paying for drug testing and
Well,
mileage and so forth.
Well, the town, first of all, the drug testing is random from the state. It isn't done anything. We don't call the state and say, unless we have
Okay.
a suspicion,
Right.
according to this.
Okay,
If the state is doing random drug testing,
Yeah.
and then they get somebody,
yeah,
that test, the next test that they take, the next one, to
Mhm.
prove that they're not doing
Clean.
drugs, costs money.
I understand that, but so does the physical for them to get their license.
That's covered by insurance. Their health insurance covers physicals.
Okay, but if, okay, all right, so just because of the insurance that we have, the physical
Right,
is
it's covered.
covered 100%?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and do
now-
we dock a person's pay if they are going for counseling? Because there's a certain element here, you have to, once you have a drug test and it comes back bad, you have to go for, there's a routine of counseling and then another drug test. And then I suppose if the state comes in and randomly drug tests after that, that is on them,
Yeah.
not on us. That's
What
on
about
motor
the,
vehicle.
does the insurance cover the counseling and the
Yes,
cost of that?
I believe so. I believe the counseling. I can find out for sure.
Yeah, I
Don't
think,
believe it covers the second drug test.
I think so.
I think it's, no, I don't think so. I think
I would
it's
just-
$250.
I think the question comes up as to what insurance covers. And if insurance
Well, yes.
covers it, if.
Well, I'd like to
listen,
see somebody have some responsibility if they're coming to
Oh,
work.
I think if you need
If
if you
you're
need a
driving
second
a-
test,
Yeah.
you should be responsible
Well,
for
that's
paying
what
for
I'm
it.
There you
asking.
go.
Yeah.
The first test
you know,
is moot point because
Hey,
they do
if
it.
you want to break the rules, there's a
Then pay for
penalty,
it, yeah.
you know, to break the rules.
I mean, if you
Pay your
don't
way
get,
out.
if you don't
Yeah.
get docked pay and you don't pay for the drug test,
Right,
why not come to work high?
yeah.
Okay.
Now, my other question
You might
is,
get fired, I know.
does this policy apply to
No.
firefighters
No.
and
Well,
ambulance people?
Be nice
and
to Ed.
oh,
At least the
really?
ambulance side.
Yeah,
but-
have a
but-
commercial driver's license?
No.
Do you need a
No,
CDL
but it's-
to
this
drive
is-
a fire truck?
No.
You do not?
No,
Okay.
no. This is for,
This is only for people,
and it wouldn't be all of us in the building. It would just
it'd
be
be the highway
people,
crew.
because they're the CDL drivers,
Right.
yeah.
And
and they have to
anybody
have a
that,
CDL to work.
like you said earlier today, like if they're gonna bring Matt on
As a full-time, yeah, because
in the winter to do plowing and
he'd be
stuff,
under that.
he would have to be,
It doesn't say anything about part-time,
he
so,
would have to be
If he's driving a big-
included in
It
that.
should be any employee
but
regardless
it's
of
not,
part-time,
it's not.
full-time.
Well,
then we-
full part-time, full-time, yes.
Yeah.
But it's not like the custodian or the
Well, no,
town clerk.
I'm saying only
If they're
the
driving,
the
yeah.
CDL
Right.
holders.
I mean, it has everything.
Commercial
It
driver's
tells you the
license.
weight of
Yeah.
what you can't
Okay.
drive. I mean, this is a state
What?
thing.
I'm surprised fire trucks aren't in there.
No.
You don't have to have a CDL for that.
Linda brought something up on this today about, you know, on the back as where they signed for
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
and whatever.
And that was Alan's concern, what if they refuse to sign it?
Right, we're not asking you
Thanks
to
for
say that
working
you
with
agree with
that.
it, we're asking you to
Better idea.
sign that you received it.
If we give every employee this,
Yeah.
You
and just
received
have a
it.
sheet of paper,
Received by so-and-so on such and
And
such
give
a
them
date,
his
they sign their
initials.
name.
Just the
then they
CDL.
don't, then we won't raise this whole
That's
issue,
what
oh,
we
I've
did.
been here
Right.
50 years and I'm not
That'll
signing.
work.
Just sign that you received this policy. That's all we need. If they don't want to read it, they don't have to. But it's here, we're covered if somebody
Fine.
The
happens
town
to.
has to be
I
covered.
think it's great.
Okay.
And my only question would be the costs, and I think the employee should be responsible for a
Everything.
secondary test
Everything.
Well,
and the
yes.
associated expenses because they broke the rules.
Right.
If you want to dance, you got to pay the band, you know? It's,
So are we all agreeable to that, to add to this, and then we'll vote on it next time, to add that the cost will be borne by the offender?
The employee.
The
And
employee.
The employee, yeah.
we don't,
But
yeah, we don't
Offender.
prejudge, we don't.
we still,
By the alleged offender?
Yeah.
the other,
If they weren't guilty, they wouldn't be
Yeah,
having
I
to do
know,
it.
I know.
the other issue, guys, is, and of course, we all talked about this previously. Are you gonna put them on admin leave until they have a clean test, you know, with pay or without pay? pay or put them
Yeah,
on
we should have that.
part-time? Or what are you gonna do with them?
Yeah.
If there's no penalty, like you said, then there's no reason.
Get
Right.
paid full-time.
There's no reason.
And you don't have to do all the work because you don't get to drive the
Well, gee,
trucks.
that's a good thing.
You're just-
Okay, let me go
You're
take
just-
You spend a lot of time
They
behind
pay
the
me to
barn,
go
I
take
think,
the
you know.
Just
so-
mowing the lawn. I know. So what should
That's
it
a
be?
good point, yeah, we need to make a policy decision
Yeah.
as to,
Well, let's do it tonight so we can redo this and vote on it next time.
I like Chris's idea that,
You're on administrative leave at, well, at least,
Well,
okay,
the-
let me say this, at least, because you'd be very shorthanded if you got somebody up.
exactly.
But I think that if they're, we pay a different pay. We pay 16 an hour for CDL,
Yeah,
12 an hour, no CDL.
14.
Okay.
Whatever the lower rate is, they should be
Be on the lower
compensated
rate.
at the lower rate.
Yeah, and still be
Because they-
chopping down trees and whatever they,
Yeah, because they were unavailable to drive the big rig.
right,
You're gonna
You know.
leave them at work
Yeah,
but lower
at
pay.
a lower pay. They
Right.
can't drive the big rigs that the
I don't think
CDL
they can use
covers.
this chainsaw.
They're not allowed to.
right. And use whatever equipment is restricted and so forth, but.
Because your job
but-
is lessened.
Yeah,
So your
but
pay
you
should be
can't-
lessened.
And then,
Because if you could, there's a big New Year's Eve party and there's a big drug test on New Year's Day and there's a big
Or 30
snowstorm
days
on the
after.
same day.
that's not gonna go good
And-
for anybody.
Yeah.
Or for a month.
And we're not gonna get the streets plowed because
all.
no one's gonna be in a truck and,
Right. Well, they're not gonna be able to, if they get
Yeah.
a bad test, they're not gonna be able to.
well, no, they can plow with pickup trucks.
Yeah.
But you were
Shovels.
talking about doing other work, chainsaw and so forth.
I don't think you need a chainsaw either.
Nothing else should be involved other than driving.
It's what the
Well, I
state
think that
says.
the state policy
State
restricts some
policy
use of
is what
some
says-
equipment.
Says chainsaws. It's the state, it's not us.
How can they do that?
They did,
Don't know.
they have in the past. To other people, not us.
Okay, okay,
Not us.
okay,
It's
okay.
dangerous.
Okay, I follow you now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
anything that's
This
dangerous.
is strictly a drug policy. It doesn't have anything to do with it, really, with the CDL.
Yeah, it says right in the beginning.
Yeah,
It's,
it
the
does.
policy is for people who operate commercial motor vehicles
Okay,
by virtue of holding a CDL.
okay. Then they're contradicting themselves.
Yeah, they did.
For what?
Yeah.
They
For
did.
what?
What, they put a
I don't need a
chainsaw in?
CDL.
Well, I didn't see,
Chainsaw.
I didn't see chainsaw. Alan said you
Well-
called.
But it doesn't,
It doesn't
Say
say
it.
it. I know.
Oh, it doesn't say it.
No, Alan calls.
Oh.
He was trying to get this drug policy
Unless
together.
Okay.
He was trying to
I thought it
find
was in
out.
here.
Well, I think not. I think it's
no.
not. I think that was hearsay.
that's whole different. That-
Yeah.
I
Or any
wouldn't want
dangerous-
to go there unless it's on paper and I see it.
Well, I
You can't
know.
run a chainsaw because, you
It's a
know,
dangerous,
yeah, it's
well, that's why
violation
I,
of your CDL. No, it
no,
doesn't.
it's
What's
supposed to
that
be,
you?
it's supposed to be just CDL, I would think.
Yeah.
It also includes alcohol.
The other issue I had with that, so they have to have, once they go through the counseling,
Mhm.
and then they go back for another test.
Well, the counselor has to say, you're ready for another test. And the
Right.
counselor has to look at that test and say, okay, I give you permission to go back to work. It's all hinged on the counselor.
If they fail the second one,
Yeah.
there needs to be.
Bye-bye, I'd
Well,
say.
I mean, you could dismiss them, you could put them on admin leave with no pay until you get something figured out, or what,
Yeah.
I don't know,
But do
but that's liable to happen.
Yeah, do you want to do it, have it in the policy, or do it on an
Oh, yeah.
as
Oh, no.
basis as, yeah.
No, no,
Should be in here.
I would put them on, I mean, that's just me, I would put them on administrative leave with no pay.
No pay, if it's the second offense, or second time?
Second test,
Okay, first test, we put them lower pay.
that's all.
Second test comes back bad, you're on administrative leave till you get
Yep.
it together.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah,
that makes
I'll
sense.
tell Alan.
there
we
has to
do it.
be
There has to
a
be penalty.
penalty for the,
Is that fine with you, or? Okay, I'll put that in for
And
Alan.
also, you realize that this also includes pre-employment drugs.
Yeah.
Drug
yeah.
screening.
Well, before you
So-
start working, you have to have a test.
Oh, yeah.
The new employees have to have tests.
Yeah.
If what they're gonna
And
do
we're
involves a
we're provided
CDL.
by that.
Yeah.
We're
Yes.
We
Oh,
have,
yeah,
okay,
yeah, yeah.
all right,
Oh, the new guy that just came on had a test.
all right.
Yeah.
That's how this whole comes
No,
down.
that's enough.
Okay.
That's enough. Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
That's why we decided to do it. Because they,
that would be a good start.
yep. Okay, so we say admin leave after, if the test comes back second time.
Yep.
An employee who has a second positive test after completing return to duty testing may be terminated.
Maybe, and then
That's
maybe
true.
turns.
It may be terminated.
Well, it's already in there, so I don't have to
Yeah,
say that.
it's right here.
Okay. And, but the first time on
Okay.
lower pay.
Okay,
Okay,
so we can make a decision on it.
yeah, but they come up all
They
the
may be
time.
terminated, but
Right.
Right.
if we put them on admin
But,
leave with no
you know,
pay,
we don't know,
we're holding them
right.
to come back if things work out. If not,
Right.
sorry.
We, yeah, we don't know when they're coming either, so it's not like we're calling them and saying, I mean, they may have called to say for the new employee, which was fine. He was fine. I mean, it's nothing, no
Hey,
secret, he was fine, but
They
that,
just show up.
they show up a lot of
I
times,
don't know
yeah.
how much they do it now, but they used to when I know when I was working.
Come right in, hello,
We do
here's your
anything
cup, go for
They have
it.
a policy for.
No, no,
Come in the morning, no
I
time
don't
any
know,
old.
they don't for teachers.
They just show
Well,
up.
no, but,
Yeah, school
If-
bus, our
if-
school bus, do they have to have CDL?
yeah,
They must do it to them too.
transport 16 and more passengers, including the
Okay.
driver.
They must do it to them too.
Okay.
Hey, I got a random drug test because I go to the health center. They didn't even know the guy was there, the people that work there. Just because, you know, they randomly choose people and I
Yeah,
passed.
I'm
I
glad.
guess I'm still here. Okay,
Refusal of a test is a positive test.
right.
Yeah.
It says that in there. You all have
Is
it.
it
Refusing to take the test
Okay.
is a positive.
I'll have Alan
Yeah.
add
Yep.
the things we
Okay,
wanted on there, okay?
very good. Thank you.
But,
Thank
okay,
you.
trash?
Nothing.
Yes, there is. You told me
Oh.
last meeting
Oh,
to
to go
do something.
after,
Yeah, and I did.
the trailer behind
Trailer
the
behind the
laundromat.
laundromat, and Michael Gahn had some questions. He wanted to know when the last time we sent a letter, and John gave me the dates today, and I found the letter it was the final letter. It was sent
Mhm.
last year, so if you think that he's not complying, and
He is not
he is not,
complying.
then Michael is in the works. It's in the works
Okay.
right now, okay?
He is not complying,
Okay.
and I don't mean to take it out on him, but he needs to.
Yeah, well, it's not
I'm tired
covered,
of
is
getting
it?
lip service here.
Right, it's not covered.
Well, I mean, you drive by, take a look.
It's-
Most of the time it's just overflowing.
Right, yeah.
All over everything.
Yeah, I didn't look at it today.
I wonder where it goes because.
Rats and mice.
Oh, he takes it,
Sideboards.
he
Yeah,
takes it to the dump, or
down.
he takes
No,
it somewhere.
He takes it down Troy Street.
Well, I don't know
There
where
is
he
no
takes
dump
it.
it, but that's
He
what
takes
people-
it somewhere. I
John
don't know.
has said it. Yeah,
I have
I'm not
no
gonna
idea.
go there.
There are
Okay.
some illegal dumping sites in this community.
There are. Okay, water and sewer.
Oh, okay. We've been working on Interval Avenue there since a week ago today. So far, we have been pretty lucky as far as hitting anything. We hit a couple things that kind of slowed us down. We've got a new 8-inch pipe installed from the hydrant at old elementary school. 499 feet to a new hydrant. That gives us fire protection for the whole of Interval Avenue in reality. And we've got to make the taps yet. for
What do
the
you mean by
houses.
taps?
Where you tap the houses, the health service into the main line.
Alan said that there was no tapping. So he must have gotten that wrong, because I said something.
When you run new pipe, you gotta make new taps.
Well, I would think so.
Otherwise, they're not gonna have any water.
Well, yeah, I would think so, but when I said that to him the other day, he says, well, they're not doing taps into it, it's just the pipe. And I
They just
said,
run
that's
it-
not
No,
what
it's
Jill
not,
said.
it's not a specific pipe for the hydrant. It's gonna replace the old pipe that's there and the hydrant that's on the end of the
There's a
line.
little 4-inch main in there with a 2-inch hole in it.
Yeah,
And
but why do you tap to a house from a hydrant?
you don't
You don't.
tap from the main line.
No, the hydrant's just the end of the line.
Okay, so how many taps are you talking?
However many houses are there.
Six houses down there?
3,
One,
There's 4
two.
taps
Oh,
off this section
four,
of it.
yeah,
How many?
4.
4 on that street.
And a
Yeah.
tap does what?
Provides
It's-
water to the house.
it brings the water to the house. Here's the house.
It's
From
potable
that
water.
hydrant.
No, from the other
From the
end.
main line.
From the other end. They tapped into the main
Here's the
line.
hydrant out here.
Don't you just attach the hose to the hydrant and then spray the house?
No.
You need to tell me. I don't, hey,
Okay.
I'm gonna ask if I don't know.
Okay,
You
here's
can
your,
just get off your high horses.
here's your main line.
Got
Okay?
it? Yeah,
Okay, here's the house.
Yeah.
You gotta give them a service.
yeah.
So you tap the line here.
Right
for
line.
their-
And put the pipe up to the house.
For their water.
for the
Yep.
water.
That's what Alan said they weren't doing.
Yes.
Okay, well, I'll
Yeah,
tell
they
you.
are.
Okay, now I get it.
And
I thought you were saying that that's how you're putting fire out.
No.
No.
While we're doing
The
this,
hydrant is just
We've got-
While you're doing it, you're putting new taps in.
we're putting the new
Yeah.
taps on.
The reason I'm confused is
Once
because
it's-
Alan said you weren't putting taps in, so
Yes.
I was confused.
Once it is done here,
I get it now.
we've got to purge it. Okay. Then, our connections are already made to the new pipe. All we do is go back, cut the existing health service, swing it over, and put it into the new.
I get it now,
You leave the old 4-inch in the ground, right?
no problem.
You just leave the old 4-inch in the
Yeah,
ground.
yeah.
Okay,
And you have
And,
a valve on the schoolhouse
We
end.
hit a couple pipes here that we didn't know what they were. Well, we done a lot of investigating. They're filled with dirt. They've been
Yeah.
there years
Forever.
and years.
Sure.
So,
and
no
that's what'll
problem.
happen to these.
And,
Stay there long enough.
So,
Got it.
once we purge it, we've got that new hydrant here. There's a valve here and a valve here. This feeds back this way on Pillow Street.
Gotcha.
This feeds this way, so we can isolate.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
sounds
and-
good.
And so far, like I say, it's not quite complete. I was over there later this afternoon, it's not quite complete today. But we've been on it, well, we lost some time during the rain.
Well, you also had a leak on Richard Street, didn't you?
Go ahead.
And they just paved that street.
Ugh.
And they had to dig it up.
Till, are you, correct me if I'm wrong, when you dig up the street like that and run along, you're on all new stuff. It's as long as you're never just gonna use the old stuff. And when you're
No.
tearing it up, put in new
That's what
when
we
you
do.
can,
That's what we do.
even if it's a small piece.
Yeah.
Because once it's torn
Well,
up,
yeah, you gotta repave it after.
If it's just a pinhole leak or something, we tear it up, we've got sleeves that strap on,
yeah,
you know.
yeah,
And if we have to cut it, we've got high maxes
yep.
to make a connection for a new piece of pipe.
But they're gonna be new. You're gonna have to dig, you're gonna have to.
Are you gonna pave that this year? You got the money to pave that Interval Avenue this year? Is that part of the,
We can't pave it this year.
you gotta wait till next
We
year?
gotta wait till next year for
Oh,
settlement.
Well, that's settled
just-
out.
oh, I didn't know that.
That road's in terrible shape anyway, so it needs to be paved anyway.
Right.
Oh, yeah, that part of it.
Yeah, it's really.
And then the other way will be done next year?
Hopefully,
maybe-
we can do the other end of it next year. Or we could go another 500 feet, or 499,
99.
from where we stop over here. That'll take us to the corner over by Brian's,
Walking
Right.
and we can put a new hydrant in there.
Came in
So we
like
got
that.
all kinds of fire protection.
Good,
Huh?
that's good.
The
Sure,
houses,
that's open.
we've got enough flow in the old 4-inch for all the houses, and it seems to be in pretty good shape. We have one,
And what are you
Every
putting
day
in now,
that's
8?
like that. It's
Eight?
in the house Every day.
it's
Plenty of
all,
water.
it's all PVC.
Plenty of water.
Yeah, okay.
Good deal.
Make sure there's
And
no bats in the house.
I'm glad they're around again.
I'm gonna
Me too,
check
out on
with
the
them tomorrow and
hills.
see how much time they got left on it.
Yeah,
And, they get that hydrant installed tomorrow and get everything breeded back. I think, probably, the next day, they can probably do all 4 of those taps,
good. Okay,
if things go good.
then there are
Yeah.
taps. See, I was
Yeah, 1,
confused
2,
because he
3.
said there were no
1, 2,
taps.
3, 4.
And I already told you about the old reservoirs.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's all up in,
yep.
that's in the best shape it's been in 100 years. Yeah, really it is. And I don't have any more.
Okay.
Town clerk?
Any other business?
Yes.
Okay.
What he brought up about the four-wheelers here. I would just like you people to
You
go to
people?
Bakersfield on a Sunday afternoon before you do anything on this.
I'm not doing anything until we hear from the public.
Yeah, I want to see
They came
the
in
other
here.
town ordinances, you know, because
But he's
like
gonna
right
send
now,
them.
Well-
right now, there's a lot of, I mean, it's very popular for these side-by-side,
Oh,
you know,
huge.
things.
They got
And they're,
both over there.
and they're family recreational outings. And I
Oh.
know that, like over in New Hampshire, it's a boon to some of these
Good
communities
for
over
your
there.
guy over there.
Yeah, I know, but they're taking in a lot of money.
Yeah.
And I know groups here in Richford, I watched them last weekend, they were loading up at Pinnacle Peddler or
Yeah.
Jolly or whatever the heck it is now, beverages of all type. And they were setting out from Enosburg, and there's apparently a path from Enosburg that their destination was the Belfry for dinner
Yeah.
in the afternoon, and they can get all the way from Enosburg up to
Yeah,
the
to the
Belfry
Belfry.
on a trail, and they can continue on from that, like you were saying, over to Lowell is the real hub for all of these
Yeah.
things. And it was a family outing, and it was beneficial to businesses economically in the community, and I would not be a proponent of them going up and down Main
Main
Street.
Street, no.
And even I wouldn't like them to be driving past my bed and breakfast either.
No.
But I wouldn't be
That's Main
opposed,
Street, kind
but I wouldn't be opposed to them. There's off-road if you get property owners to agree to it, like it says on that form. Like if they were to cross Davis Island, like where the Vast Trail goes. This is different than, you know, this is ATVs, it's not snow travelers, but they could easily follow some of the Vast Trails if the property owners would agree to it.
If
And-
Vast agrees to it.
Well, a lot of the Vast Trails go through the middle of cornfields that aren't in place in the winter.
I know.
So you'd have to get property owner agreement, like on Davis Island, to come across the bridge and then skirt the cornfield, you know, things like that.
I know what you
But,
mean. Yeah.
I think,
They can't use the rail trail, right?
No.
Only,
No.
only
They-
snow machines.
no.
Well,
they
I
can't
just,
use the Missisquoi Rail Trail. They can use the new Lamoille Rail Trail, which they won a court battle to actually
That's-
run on that.
That's the
And
one from Swanton to St. Jay.
yeah, and it's not completed yet, but
Right.
they got big portions of it done, and they do have availability to run on that.
Yeah.
It's different counties than up here.
I
but-
just remember when all of those people packed this room,
Yeah.
when we talked about it and begged us not to let them go on the
I think
roads.
it's different though now. That it's,
Now than
there's
5
a,
years ago.
there's a stronger organization now. The equipment is different.
Yeah, it's different. It goes
Bigger,
faster.
bigger and faster. huh?
Well, it's bigger. It's bigger certainly. But it's,
Well, I would say if we were gonna consider this, that we need to have a open, we need to
Oh, yeah,
let people know
absolutely.
that we
Oh,
need their
yeah.
input.
I think that's a great idea. I think we should have some public hearings on it.
Oh, yeah,
And I think,
and we'll wait till he gives us the information.
yeah, I'd be curious to see how the other towns are doing it. It's been, in the state of New Hampshire,
Oh, for a
it's
long time.
been incredibly successful for the communities and for the businesses that are there. And, you know, it's created
There's
some
no
new
place in New
businesses.
Hampshire that they ride the roads.
Yeah, most of it's dirt roads, but,
Most of it's log roads.
yeah, that's true.
My daughter
yeah.
lives down there. and
Yeah.
Same way in Maine.
It's not
Yeah.
down the
They
main
got
street.
a,
No, and I'm not advocating Main Street,
I-
Boy, Maine is
but
tough.
you could get
They are
you
to,
got one
Correct.
run, it's
You could get to gas
859
stations.
miles now.
by coming up the new rail trail
Well, you can get a
extension.
ticket in Maine, just
Oh,
like
yeah.
I thought you couldn't get that.
Terrible.
Well, it depends, you
Yeah.
know,
What's
what, if
The
you
town- the town's-
petition the rail trail, or right now, there's a right-of-way
Yeah.
that runs down there, that if the town were to approve that,
Right.
you know what I'm saying?
Well, let's get some more
So,
information.
yeah,
Oh,
absolutely.
We're not
definitely.
deciding tonight.
No.
No.
I vote
But
no.
Speaking
like I say,
Okay.
I would like to have you
Yeah, I've
people,
talked to that woman.
Where do you go? Yeah, where do you go over there?
you go to Bakersfield, go to the intersection,
Yeah,
right there, anywhere right there. Because they're coming this way and that way and everything, up and down the road, and they go out East Bakersfield Road.
yeah.
You know, the cemetery's right there. That's how come I'm aware of it, is going over to the cemetery.
Oh.
And I've seen as many as 100. They're from Essex, they're from Burlington, they're from everywhere.
Hmm.
They all gang up
I
there.
didn't know.
And they got side-by-sides, they got four, just regular four-wheelers.
Yeah.
And there's not a muffler on any of them.
Yeah.
That's the first thing you
Well,
do, take a muffler off, I guess.
That's dumb.
And it's quite a
But you can regulate
ways
that.
from the front of that, from that road, out to the back of the cemetery. I was out on the back of the cemetery talking with some people. We had to wait till they got
It'll go
done.
by.
10 minutes before we could
Okay.
even talk.
Well, okay, we're gonna get more information, we're not gonna
Yeah.
decide tonight.
What else?
Speaking of the rail trail,
Yep.
did you get to do any calling?
I've talked to that Susan Galini or whatever from the propane company, and they really don't have a parcel on this, I don't think.
Maybe they don't know about it.
Yeah, and the REACT meeting, I was on the agenda twice, and they postponed both of their meetings. So I talked to Darlene Friday night, and she's going to keep me on the agenda and keep me in the loop as to when they're actually meeting.
Okay.
Mike Aranek is, he's ready to go. What I need
He
to
will
do,
go, he'll
yeah,
fly.
what we need to do is, I need to take the different approach, and maybe we can. You're in here Thursday this week,
Can be any time.
or no?
No, I can be.
We need to call both.
I'm here tomorrow.
If we could get a conference call, well, but would have to,
Or you want
email
Doug-
back and forth. I'd like to
Doug
have.
come up?
No, he doesn't have to. We can do it by telephone, but this, their direction to seek donated parcels is not going to work.
Oh, no.
So what we need to do
It's a
is,
waste of
time.
we need to craft the letter that says, "Hi, I'm here to offer you X number of dollars for this deeded easement to cross your property for this particular
Well, let's just make up the
venture."
letter. You and
Okay,
I.
if,
Not their business.
okay.
You and I can make up the letter and you
Then-
can go out and
based on the valuations, and I'll do it. I'll go to them every,
just look at them and say, well, I asked and nobody wants to do it for free.
yeah, that's true.
Correct.
Who would?
Nobody wants to do it for free.
Right.
Because
So
they know
let's
that
just make
there's
the letter.
money there.
Yeah, we'll just
And they
make the
know
letter.
that the grant is hundreds of thousands of dollars, so that there's a lot of money there.
Well, you and I can do the letter.
Okay,
And,
that's fine, then-
Then you
then
can
we'll
carry
do
the
it.
letter with you? Is that what you would do, is
Yeah,
go stand and
I
deliver the
would
letter?
carry the letter with them.
Okay.
I'd first of all call them and say, can we meet tomorrow, the next day?
Would the letter be one they would sign right there?
They'd sign to approve it, and then we go through creating the deed and penciling in all the money, but they would agree to it, or at least as a back and forth. Right now, they don't know what the valuation of their
And that they
easement
will know
is.
because you're gonna
They'll
show
know
them.
because I'm gonna give, it's
what
like
the state
purchasing a
says.
piece of property. I would like to offer you $2,350 for the right to have a deeded easement across your property. And they vary from $200 to $8,000. There's 12
Yours
parcels.
is only worth
Yeah, well,
$200.
but, it's just gonna say, this is what.
Well, and
the-
they can't be changed, it's what the state has evaluated.
And they
You
said-
have the figures,
Yeah,
right?
We have the figures,
Okay.
and they can't be changed. The
Right.
state has been very specific.
So-
They can't get less than what it's valued for. They can't get more than what it's valued for. You can potentially offer them other amenities, like we can maybe put in a fence here, or a hedge here, or this or that, if they don't want to agree to it.
Okay.
But those types of things are independent of purchasing the
What is
easement.
worrying me is that we've got to pay this out of the general fund
Yep.
to people,
Yep,
and who knows how long this is going to take.
I know.
And it's just like Chris and I were talking today. When we
Yeah.
pay for this playground equipment, it's going to come out of his playground fund. When I put the money back in, it isn't going to go to his playground fund.
No, I'm gonna have,
look like
I'm
he's
gonna
on the-
have
It
an
doesn't-
overage of 20,
General fund, and I
Yeah.
don't think that's right.
my,
I know it's not right,
Well,
but who will
my-
change it?
my,
Well, we can change it.
Okay.
We can vote to change it.
Okay.
Where the money gets posted.
Okay.
because my
Just like our
budget's
general
gonna,
fund.
my budget
He's
is
gonna
gonna
have
show
the-
20, I'm 20 some odd $1,000 over.
23,000 it'll be, yeah, that's what
Over
I'm
budget.
spending, yeah.
Yeah, but we know that it's not mismanagement on your
No,
part.
but we know this.
Yeah.
We know that, but people don't know
And
that.
he's gonna look at his
They
budget.
don't know.
And, I mean, I'm gonna keep my records and say, here's the 23,000. I mean, I've got the money, I got it in my
Yeah,
hand, and I
I
got it on my
understand.
desk, because I don't dare give it over, because I don't, well, they're adjusting the bill because they charge
We
us
don't know where it's
tax.
gonna go.
I just don't want him to be, and this, the same with these easements, it'll come out of there.
Well, it's coming out of there, it has, but
The
it's come out of my, it's come out of my
Easements will come out of
playground
parks,
budget
I
for
think.
years.
Well, it'd be.
I think it's posted to parks right now,
Is it?
the rail trail stuff.
But when the
Oh,
35,000
good, you
came
can have
back,
Oh, thanks.
when it
No,
came,
I've had it for years. I
when it
don't want
came
it
back, it didn't
anymore.
go into the account.
I know,
It went
I
in the
know.
general fund. I mean, I
know.
got $35,000 back, but it
I
came
know.
out of you, but it didn't go back to you.
But the
No, I
town,
understand.
you
I
know,
know.
when you look at the bottom
I have no
line,
money, I have no
When
money.
we
for
look at the
playground.
bottom line, but if I
when the
were-
town looks at the
well,
bottom line,
a lot of people don't.
Well, the
well,
only way the easements will be paid out is if everybody agrees to it.
Yeah, they all have to agree. If somebody in the middle doesn't agree,
if they don't agree, then it gets really ugly, because
Nasty.
we can take them by eminent domain,
but
but
then we have to go to court.
that's a long process.
We would like to give this project up totally, but we can't.
We're too invested in it.
Can you tell me, can anybody tell me if where the, in the budget, where the celebrations are? I just can't find it. Because I was gonna say if there was any money left over
What
for.
do you mean?
Well, when we do the fireworks and stuff, I
Oh.
thought the fall foliage,
Yeah, we
people,
have
maybe we
that.
could give them a couple bucks. Can you?
It's there somewhere.
Well, I know,
Yeah,
I
it
looked
is.
and looked and looked.
No, no, it's an item there.
I don't even know what it's under. I looked for long enough and I couldn't find it. Town hall, auditors, ambulance. Summer
And
maintenance,
by.
no, that's not it. Emergency health, civil defense, police.
Miscellaneous.
It's under miscellaneous?
No.
Oh, stop it. Storm drains.
Benefit.
I just thought we could maybe help them out a little bit because we haven't had a fall fair for a long time and they're willing to do it. Parks and playground, solid waste, economic.
Yeah, there,
historical. I didn't see it. And I know we
It
give,
used to be in there.
Used
I
to be in
know,
here,
we
sure
give
did.
for the fireworks and we give for the parade. So it's gotta be here. But I can't find it. I can ask
You're right.
Alan. I'll ask Alan tomorrow.
um,
But I wanted to,
you write down that info, Linda, that they left on your answering machine from Revised.
nope, but I'll go and
No.
look tonight. Yeah, I'll get
Yeah,
it.
just bring it in,
I
I'll
will.
check with you tomorrow sometime.
I don't know where it is. Total playground, 0.
Playground has no money,
I know, but you really do.
not a cent. I don't dare spend any because I don't have it.
Oh, I know.
It says I don't have any.
Well, I'm gonna have Connie write that check, I think, right to the company, and then it doesn't need to go through you. Well, anyway, I can't find it. No, I'll ask Alan.
Yeah, there used to be something that said that.
Holiday
Where,
celebrations.
what page?
General employee, I'm sorry, dues and assessments. It's on page 7 of 12. This holiday celebrations,
celebration.
$4,500.
Yep,
Total dues and assessments. Oh, it's under,
County tax holiday celebrations, $4,500.
where are you?
No, page 7.
Page
I'm
7.
sorry. Holiday celebrations.
Oh, it's
right
under, it's up above.
there. Yeah,
So we spent half of
we
it.
spent 2,500, that's the fireworks, I think. or-
Right,
Yeah.
and the parade must have been taken out of there already.
I don't know.
Yeah, because we only give 1,000, I think, to them. So maybe, do you wanna give them a couple hundred if we have it?
Well, if we have,
Yeah, if we have it.
I'll
sure.
ask Alan.
better make sure we have.
Yeah, well, we got another meeting before they do it. I'll ask Alan I'll mark it and ask him what else we have to pay out of that, because if they're willing to start it up again, it'd be
No, I
nice.
think that'd be great.
Nice
That's
thing.
fine.
Okay. Any other business?
No, ma'am.
We're adjourned. Oh, sorry, back that up. Is the next meeting on Labor Day?
It would be.
Oops.
Oops, does anybody have a calendar?
4th.
Yeah, we'll pull that one up. It's- Is
The
Labor,
4th is the first Monday. yeah.
okay, so do you want to meet on Tuesday? I don't believe we should let it go 3 weeks.
No.
No, we have too much business. Do you want to have it on Tuesday that week?
Well, that's fine with me.
Is that okay with you,
I can
Tim?
meet on Labor Day, I don't care.
Well, I can too. You want to meet on Labor Day? It's
I
up
don't
to you
care.
guys. Do
You get
care?
double
Doesn't matter to
time?
me.
You get
Well,
double
I
time on Labor Day?
No?
I ain't going anywhere.
Maybe you won't be able to.
They don't
make
pay you
it.
anyway, right?
He does it for fun.
That's all right, maybe you send his helper.
Yeah, kills his
What was
girlfriend.
the other business that we talked about?
Oh,
Holiday
you want
celebrations,
overtime.
and what did we talk about before that?
Oh, is it really? Oh,
Easements.
the-
Easements.
No.
How many?
No.
And we talked about the ATV stuff.
ATVs, yeah. Okay, so we're gonna keep the meeting on
good for
Monday.
you.
Everybody's okay with that?
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah,
it's fine with me, I don't care.
yeah, I
We're
haven't
not
planned
doing
going
anything.
anywhere.
I'm not going all the way to New Hampshire.
I got a house full of Australians
Australians. Well,
Good.
limey,
cycling,
limey.
and they bought the place out.
Oh, good.
Yeah, we're done.